What's up, folks? How are you? Matt Perrault back with you here on our playpicks.com YouTube channel for the Rose Bowl, the granddaddy of them all. Let's make some picks with Wisconsin and Oregon. This is a big bowl game for both these teams. It's Pac-12, it's Big Ten, it's history. These kids grow up talking about the Rose Bowl, dreaming about the Rose Bowl. Big game here. Even though this is not a playoff game, it's not a national championship game, the granddaddy is still a big one. It's still a big deal to bring a Rose Bowl victory back to your campus. So before we get into the game, let me tell you about playpicks.com/bonus. Now, if you've not used this yet, if you're new to the videos, if you haven't seen one of these before, this is where we give you a chance to have some free money. DraftKings, FanDuel, William Hill, PointsBets, BetMGM, up to a $500 risk-free wager. So if you haven't signed up for one of these, click play now, go sign up, and maybe you either use this information or you fade this information for your own selection for this bowl game, because we're into the part of the year where the championship game's not played till January the 13th. We got some time here. We got the NFL playoffs to get into. We got a lot of opportunities to make some single game wagers, and maybe it's one side, maybe it's one total you like a lot, but why not throw $500 down on it and you could wind up making some nice money for yourself. So great opportunities here with these no deposit bonuses. All right, let's get into the lines here. First at DraftKings, Wisconsin minus the 3. 51.5 currently is the total, minus 152 on the money line, plus 125 for the dog in Oregon. Wisconsin minus 3. Still here, but the juice down a little bit at minus 105. Keep that in mind. Minus 145 on the money line, and 51.5 is the total. So we're going to give you some thoughts on the side, a money line play, and also take a look at the total here for this game. But let's begin with some basic numbers. 11-2 versus 10-3. You got two very stout defenses, two of the best defenses in the country in terms of points per game here. 15.7 for Oregon, 16.1 for Wisconsin. Offensively, both these offenses can score. You got Justin Herbert, the star quarterback for Oregon, 35.9 points per game. Star running back for the Wisconsin Badgers, and Jonathan Taylor at 34.6 points per game. Taylor's got nearly 1,200. Taylor's got 1,900 yards rushing on 299 carries, 21 touchdowns. He's got about 100 yards to start breaking some real big records here for single season rushing numbers for in a Wisconsin uniform. Jonathan Taylor's been outstanding. Justin Herbert went back. He's a Eugene kid, went back to school, winning the Pac-12. Big darn deal for them. Getting into this game, 32 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. He is a top 10 quarterback prospect coming up in the NFL draft in April. This kid can sling the football. He's going to be a big problem for that Wisconsin Badgers defense. So let's take a look at some of the numbers here just from a money line perspective. Who's going to win the game? Let's take it out to me. This is about how the two teams finished the year. You look at these games here. Yes, the loss to Ohio State wasn't great for Wisconsin, but they led at halftime. And they did a really nice job of running the football against Ohio State. Now, the Buckeyes made some adjustments, and the Buckeyes' J.K. Dobbins had a big game in the Big Ten championship game, and that enabled Ohio State to win 34-21. But they beat Minnesota to get into the Big Ten title game, 38-17 in the snow, just killed them. They beat Purdue, they beat Nebraska. It was pretty impressive the way Wisconsin, after their win over Iowa, they finished the year in such a strong note heading towards, Wisconsin is a really, really good team. They're probably, 6 or 7 in my opinion, in terms of the best teams in the country. They're top 6, top 7. They're really, really talented. Jack Cohn's a good quarterback, doesn't make big mistakes. You look at Oregon. Okay, so they really shocked everybody by beating Utah. But I wonder how much of it was Utah versus Oregon. I like Oregon's team. I do. Their offensive line is massive. It's really experienced. But I just don't like the way they ended the year. And, they lost Arizona State. That knocked them out of the playoffs, and they bounced back. I think Utah took them too lightly. I think Utah thought they were going to walk in there and punch them around, and there was home field advantage in a way for Oregon. In the Pac-12 title game in Santa Clara. I can't hang my hat on that one win over Utah and say Oregon suddenly is, one of the top 5 teams in the country and they're better than Wisconsin. I just don't think Oregon sees teams like Wisconsin as physical, as strong as they are. I'm going to take the Badgers here, and I think the Badgers win the game. If you want to look at just money line numbers, you got minus 152, minus 145. Take the minus 145 here at FanDuel. Now, from a numbers perspective, minus 3 here, minus 105. short number here, short number here. You look at the way these teams finished against the spread. Okay, sure. So Oregon was able to win and cover as a 6.5 point favorite. That was a big one, but they didn't cover against Oregon State. They didn't cover against Arizona State. They lost that game outright. They beat Arizona. They barely covered that line, 27-point line, 28 was the cover. But the end of the year kind of stumbling. Exact opposite with Wisconsin. Going forward here, Wisconsin, they cover against Ohio State. They cover against Minnesota. They cover against Purdue. They cover against Nebraska. That they win against Iowa. They don't cover, but they win on the right at home against Iowa in a hard-fought football game. Really like the way Wisconsin ended the year. To me, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay the 3 points here. Minus 105. I'm taking Wisconsin minus the 3. Now, what about the total here? 51.5. Here's what happens, I think, when you get two great defenses in a bowl game. Football is based on points, okay? And it's based upon, football right now is based on throwing the football in big explosive plays. Both these teams have big explosive offenses. I think both of them are going to score in the mid-20s. I don't see this as a low-scoring game. I think the over is the play here. Over 51.5. It doesn't really matter either one. I think points are getting scored here. I just, in bowl games, when you have a relatively low total, I just don't really trust defenses to rise up and to have a 17-7 type football game in a bowl game. There's a long time to prep, a long time to get healthy. These teams feel good. Their offenses are going to feel good. They both have big playmakers on both sides of the football. Turnovers. I think Wisconsin can get after Oregon. I think Wisconsin can sack Justin Herbert, cause mistakes, maybe a defensive touchdown. I just think the over is the play here for this game in the Rose Bowl. So just to recap, I'm taking Wisconsin minus the 3, taking Wisconsin minus 145 and on the money line, and then the over of 151.5 for this game between Wisconsin and Oregon. If you like these plays, if you like what I'm talking about, you want to make some money for yourself, go over to playpicks.com/bonus, hit, play now, sign up, get the free money. And best of luck betting on the Rose Bowl coming up this week. Should be a lot of fun. We have lots of bowl videos, including a bowl video on the Sugar Bowl you want to take a look at, playoff picks, all coming up. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, hit subscribe so you see all the great videos and all the big college and pro football games happening in the month of January and late December. And then tell me what you think about my picks in the comment section as well here on our YouTube channel. Make sure also at playpicks.com you get a longer written out explanation of these plays coming up here on playpicks.com we're just on playpicks.com. Go ahead and search and find the Rose Bowl. I'm Matt Perrault. We've got a lot more to come. Stay with us here on the playpicks.com YouTube channel.